Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something we all take for granted, vision. But this isn't about biology. We're talking about how the very act of seeing has evolved from a secret tool of power to something machines can now do for us. And trust me, this change is reshaping our entire world.
So, let's kick things off with this really interesting idea. The quote suggests something kind of counterintuitive. What if seeing more stuff doesn't get rid of secrets, but actually creates new ones? Keep that thought in your back pocket, because it's absolutely central to this whole story about the evolution of sight. All right, so for, most of human history, having the high ground, that privileged view from above, wasn't just a nice view. It was a massive strategic advantage, and it was something that was guarded incredibly closely.
I mean, think about it. To see without being seen, that's the ultimate power move, right? For centuries, this was the playbook for states and militaries. Their power, their authority, came from this exact ability, this sort of God's eye view to survey, to control, and really, to dominate everything and everyone below.
So how did they pull this off? How did they maintain this monopoly on vision? Well, it was all about controlling the information. They made sure that the best stuff, the most detailed maps, the clearest aerial photos, stayed in their hands and their hands only. We're talking about everything from literally hiding secret military bases on public maps to building up these massive, top-secret archives of spy satellite imagery.
But then, things started to change. New technologies came along and started punching these little pinholes in that official veil of secrecy. And suddenly, everybody else started to get a peek behind the curtain.
What really drove this shift, it was the rise of commercially available high-res satellite imagery. And this wasn't just a small change. It fundamentally flipped the script on who gets to see the world. Suddenly, what was once top-down and secret became bottom-up and open source. And this allowed people to create these powerful counter-narratives that challenged the official story.
And all of a sudden, it wasn't just governments with this power anymore. You had all these other groups getting in on the action. This kicked off a whole new era of what you might call imagery activism. Think about it. NGOs, journalists, activists, they could now peer over national borders, hold powerful people accountable, and expose things that were meant to stay hidden forever.
And, it wasn't just about serious activism. The applications for this stuff just exploded. The very same tech that could be used to find a secret military installation was also being used to map your favorite golf course in stunning 3D. Overhead vision was no longer just for spies. It was now a product you could buy. Okay, so this democratization of vision was huge, but it really just set the stage for the next, even bigger leap. We're moving into a world where it's not just about us looking at images anymore, it's about machines seeing and understanding all on their own.
And this is where we get into the wild world of computer vision. It's a field of AI that's all about giving machines the power of sight. We're basically teaching computers how to look at the world and make sense of it, how to take that chaotic flood of pixels from an image or video and turn it into something useful, something structured that you can actually do something with.
So how does this AI vision actually work? Well, you can break it down into a few simple steps. First, the AI sees an image or a video. Then, it dives in and analyzes all the pixels and data, looking for patterns. From there, it can start identifying things, objects, faces, even text. And the final, most important step? It spits out some kind of useful insight that a human or another system can act on.
And what's really mind-blowing is just how much this machine sight can do. I mean, we're way beyond just teaching a computer to recognize a cat in a YouTube video. We're talking about AI that can read documents like a person, automatically moderate online content, spot a tiny microscopic flaw on a factory assembly line, or even track multiple objects in a live video feed. The scale is just incredible.
So, okay, this automated vision isn't just some cool tech experiment. It's actively and fundamentally changing how our world works, especially when you look at the world of business and commerce.
And this is where that idea of seeing evolves yet again. We're moving beyond just pixels in an image. Now, vision means interpreting data about customers, about supply chains, about logistics. For a business today, having vision means having this direct, unfiltered view into your entire operation, from the moment something is made to the moment it arrives at a customer's door.
You can see this playing out perfectly in how we buy things. You had the old model, B2C, where a company sells its stuff through a retailer. Then came D2C, direct-to-consumer, where a brand cuts out the store and sells right to you online. But now we're seeing the rise of M2C,
manufacturer to consumer, where the actual factory that makes the thing sells it straight to you. It cuts out literally everyone in the middle.
And why is this M2C model so powerful? Because it gives the manufacturer that total, direct vision we were just talking about. By getting rid of all the middlemen, they get a crystal clear picture of who their customers are and what they really want. They can see how their products are doing in real time, which lets them tweak things, optimize costs, and just react to the market way faster than anyone else.
So, this whole journey, from a secret tool for governments to an automated intelligence for businesses, it brings us to a final, really powerful, and maybe even a little unsettling thought about where we're all headed.
Just think about that progression for a second. We went from a world where only the state could really see to one where anyone could see, and now to a world where machines see and understand for us. Sight isn't just a human sense anymore. It's become a scalable computational service.
And this brings us right back to that paradox from the beginning. In a world where everything is visible, secrecy doesn't just vanish. It just changes. It becomes part of the show. The new game isn't about hiding information anymore. It's about managing and controlling the connections between all that information in a world that's just drowning in it.
Which leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. In a world of total visibility, where machines can see, analyze, and understand pretty much everything, is anything truly private anymore? As this new kind of sight gets woven deeper and deeper into the fabric of our lives, what happens to privacy? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us.